Thank you, Jody. Good morning, everyone. With just a couple of months to go until the civic election, Vancouver's mayor is calling for an all-out lobbying effort to get a Broadway subway built. Gregor Robertson told the Urban Land Institute that with 200,000 people living and working along the Broadway corridor and 150,000 more expected to move in, the rapid transit line is vital to free up congestion. He says new figures show a Broadway subway would have 250,000 trips on its first day of operation, and 50,000 vehicle trips would be taken off the road. The line is featured in Robertson's new campaign video. He denies the video gives the impression that the project is a done deal.
There's no question that we don't have the Broadway subway being built right now. It's something we need to fight for, and that's part of why I want to run for another term as mayor. I'm going to keep fighting to get the Broadway subway started, and it may take more years than I have to actually get it built and opened, but it's part of the work that I'm committed to doing as mayor of Vancouver to make sure it's a top priority.
There are questions surrounding the proposed subway line for Vancouver, particularly from Surrey. The city has a rapidly growing population, is in need of more light rail transit and a replacement for the aging Patello Bridge. Surrey is getting 30 new RCMP officers this year, and it's a safe bet some will be assigned to Newton, which has seen a dramatic rise in crime. First quarter stats show property crime in the area is up 51% this year, with an 80% jump in auto theft. Violent crime and sexual assaults in the neighborhood have also risen. The stats come after Julie Pascal was viciously attacked outside Newton Arena in December and died from her injuries.
We're a little bit surprised considering the amount of police that are in the neighborhood nowadays. You would think that the statistics would be going down.
Surrey RCMP say they reassigned officers to handle higher priority cases like violent sex assaults. With the recent arrests of 3 suspects, the force can shift some of those officers back to enforcing property crimes. Police in Nigeria are offering a $300,000 reward for information in their search for nearly 300 teenage girls who were kidnapped from their school nearly 3 weeks ago. Demonstrations in support of the missing girls have been held all over the world. The Nigerian government is defending its response to the mass kidnapping by the Islamic extremist group Boko Haram. The group's leader has promised to sell the children. 2 special battalions have been devoted to the search, but so far there has apparently been no sign of the missing girls. Convicted sex offender Christopher Neal will be spending more time behind bars. A Richmond judge gave the 39-year-old a 3-month sentence along with 3 years probation. Neal violated his release conditions that ban him from using the internet or even owning devices that provide access to it. He's been in custody since March, so he'll do another 48 days in prison. Neal served 5 years in jail in Thailand for sexually assaulting boys, and he's facing new allegations of sex crimes in Cambodia. Vancouver police are hunting for another man convicted of shocking crimes. Bradley McCullough failed to return to his halfway house on Monday night. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison for robbery, theft, unlawful confinement, and sexual assault. Police say he dragged an elderly woman into his van and sexually assaulted her. He is 6 feet tall, 160 pounds, with brown hair, green eyes, and several tattoos. If you see him, call police. A 23-year-old woman who allegedly helped a man jump from the peak-to-peak gondola in Whistler is scheduled to appear in court today. Kathleen Elizabeth Adams is facing charges of mischief and obstruction of justice. Adams has since apologized for her actions in a written letter to a Whistler News magazine. She says she was swept up in the moment in helping Graham Dickinson base jump from the gondola back in February. A crane operator is safe and sound despite a scary situation in South Vancouver yesterday on Cambie near West 64th. He was essentially trapped 150 feet in the air when the crane hit a power line. Hydro in the immediate area was shut down, and firefighters got the worker out using a high-angle rescue technique.
This is pretty much what we do and train for throughout the year, and in very similar places like this, and we have invitation even from these guys prior to come and train here.
Firefighters say the man did the right thing after the crane contacted the power line by staying put, similar to what a driver should do when a vehicle hits a power line. A steep hill in Burnaby is the scene of Metro Vancouver's latest traffic fatality. The accident happened yesterday afternoon at Beta Avenue and the Lougheed Highway near Brentwood Mall in Burnaby. It appears an elderly cyclist was trying to cross the busy street when he was hit and killed by a car. The victim was pronounced dead on scene. His body and bike were moved after the incident, but investigators spent hours on location. It does not appear the cyclist was wearing a helmet.